So we've made it to the third zone of the Olympic National Park. We are in the lowland forest, which is characterized by a lot of rivers and lakes, and basically, as it sounds, it's a lowland forest. It doesn't receive anywhere near the same amount of rain as the Hoh rainforest does, so the ecology is different here. The ground isn't covered as much growth. The trees are different here. There's a few varieties that aren't growing here. A lot of the animals are back and forth between each one because they are kind of connected. But the main characteristic is there's just way less rain here than there is over in the Hoh rainforest. We're going to check it out today. Go on just a couple real short hikes. It's mostly driving through this place. There's a lot of rivers and lakes that we're going to look at and creeks that are running through it. So we're going to check it out today. It's beautiful weather, so we're hoping we're going to have a good day checking out this third region of Olympic National Park.
Today we're in the Sol Duc River Valley. That is in the northwest part of Olympic National Park. Yesterday we went the opposite direction, and then tomorrow we're going to drive around to the other side of Olympic National Park. But today we're in the Sol Duc River Valley. We're going to do a couple hikes here. This one is the Ancient Grove Trail. You ready, Callie? Ready.
So behind me is one of those classic rivers that you see on documentaries on Discovery Channel and places like that, where the salmon come to spawn, where they've been out at sea their whole life and then they swim and fight uphill, up the waterfall, up the rapids, and then lay their eggs and then die when they get to the top. Well, this is one of those rivers. The salmon are born way up top in the Cascades. They float their way some 70-something miles down to the sea where they live their life. And then they will come back up this before they die. They'll come all the way back up these Cascades, fighting up these rapids and up these water, kind of jumping from spot to spot, all the way to the top till they respawn and they'll die up there in their life cycle. So I think it's pretty cool to actually see one of these in person. I'd like to be here in late July whenever these fish are fighting up upstream here. I think that'd be pretty sweet to see. So on this Ancient Groves Trail, you walk right along the river. However, the river is probably, what, 300-400 foot below you.
It's a straight drop from where you're walking. So
it's kind of it's not like scary or anything. It's just really pretty. You have trees on one side where the roots are bare and they're kind of hanging on to the side of the cliff. And then on the other side is the river 300-400 foot below you. What's really cool about these hikes, the ones we've done in Redwoods, the one we've done in Oregon, some of the ones we've done here in Washington, are just the massive size of the trees. These aren't as big around as the redwoods. They're 200+ foot tall, and so it's just way different than what we see in Alabama. Alabama, even pine trees that are really tall are nowhere near this. And so when you're standing at the bottom of them, there's no leaves anywhere around you. The leaves are literally hundreds of feet up in the air. But it's just really majestic kind of feeling. The wind blowing and all the green around you and these massive trees that are skying above you. It's just a really cool thing. So this is a really neat trail to check out because it's in an awesome old growth forest, and it's also right on the riverbank.
She thinks so too.
Yeah, she likes it too, you can tell.
Now our second hike of the day is Sol Duc Falls.
All right, so we just walked over to Sol Duc Falls and it was impressive. That thing is a lot of water pouring over in a small amount of space, and it's a very like sheer cliff wall with lots of moss growing on it. Absolutely awesome. Olympic National Park is so large that we're actually camping in 2 different locations around the park. The first spot was over in Forks, and now today we drove north a little over an hour up through just some beautiful mountains, beautiful lake, which is Crescent Lake. We don't have time to go to Crescent Lake, but that is somewhere I wish we would have had time to have gone. Really pretty blue water there. But now we're kind of on the north side of Olympic National Park in the Port Angeles area.
And we're about to go on the hiking trail to Madison Falls and see what kind of falls we got there.
Yeah, there's apparently like a falls trail through here, meaning there's 8 or 10 different waterfalls in this general area that you can go see them all. Obviously, us not having time to even see a huge lake, we're not going to have time to see a bunch of different waterfalls. We have seen several of them. We're going to check it out.
You say hey?
Hey!
What's the horsey say?
Nay!
Nay! Talk to him. Talk to him, say nay.
Callie,
Nay!
Callie, what's the horse say?
Nay! Nay!
They're all going to come to you.
Dada!
Hey, dear.
A big tree. Now if he can see if he can get out.
Dear. 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 Deer. Deer.
She's searching for deer on our hike back to the truck. But that waterfall was so awesome. The coolest thing about that waterfall was the moss that was growing on the rocks. Like the water was running on the rocks all the way down. It was really cool, all that moss on the rocks. It was so much different than most of the waterfalls you see.
While driving yesterday up to the Port Angeles area, we had planned on just seeing Lake Crescent as we passed by. Lake Crescent is at the north, kind of the northwest corner of Olympic National Park, just like a lake, honestly, on the map. And so we are surrounded by lakes in Alabama. We've got 4 or 5 awesome lakes around us, so it didn't really intrigue us as a whole lot. However, when we drove by, we saw this just absolutely gorgeous lake sitting in the mountains. It also had really pretty blue water, like a blue-green color water, just a really different color water than we had seen. So we liked it so much, we decided that we'd come back the next day and actually look at Lake Crescent. I know I said we weren't coming, but we ended up coming anyway. It's a really cool lake, really pretty blue water. The mountains here are just gorgeous feeding down into the lake. It's a place that I'm definitely glad we stopped.
So we came over here to Lake Crescent and we were gonna do Marymere Falls, which we saw on the map. And it looked like a little short hike to the falls. We got here and it is 2 o'clock already. And it said it's like almost a 2-mile hike round trip. And so we've sat here for a while and kind of questioned whether we wanted to do this or not, and I think we've decided to not do it. We've seen a lot of waterfalls the past couple days, and it is nap time, so we were trying to debate whether it's worth the waterfall or do we need to go give her a nap. So we're just not going to do the waterfall today. We're going to go down, check out the lake a little bit, then head back and get a nap. So the water here at Lake Crescent is so clear. Like you can see straight to the bottom of this lake, which is really weird for us, especially like the lakes we're used to. But I just read that it's because of the nitrogen, and there's the lack of nitrogen in the water doesn't let algae grow, so therefore you can, the water stays clear, which is really cool. And that it says that's what the reflection of the light and stuff like that gives the water its green blue color. The water is just gorgeous here.
All right, so we just kind of walked down to the boat launch area of Lake Crescent, and we read a sign down there that says swimmer's itch. There's a notice of swimmer's itch. Apparently in this water and some other waters around here, there are these tiny parasites that will burrow under your skin and then die when you get out of the water. And once they die, they cause an itch and allergic reaction on your skin with those dead parasites under your skin. So I think I'm going to...
You go swimming?
No, I think I'm going to stay out of the water here.
Say hey.
Hey.
Hey, duck.
Go.
Come here,
Go.
duck.
Go. Eat. Eat.
All right, today we are in the 4th region of Olympic National Park, which is the mountain region, the Alpine area. We're at about 9,000 feet right now up at Hurricane Ridge, and behind us is just absolutely stunning views of Mount Olympus and the glaciers and all these mountains behind us.
It's so cold out here too.
Yeah,
Like
it's
50 degrees.
Yeah, it's like 48 or 50 degrees up here on the mountain, but it is absolutely stunning. Do you think it's beautiful?
Yeah, there. Mount Olympus is back behind us, and there was like lots of other mountains too.
Yeah, I'll show a graphic that has all the different mountaintops, peaks out there.
But Mount Olympus is the tallest one out here. There's a couple hikes around here, so we're gonna check out those hikes, see the meadows and stuff like that. So. Decided to take one of the little loop trails. There's several short trails around here, but we just decided to take one of the little loop trails, and we've seen 3 or 4 deer. There's snow everywhere, just the mountains all around you, and you can see the water from here. It's gorgeous. You see almost anything. We've seen bunny rabbits and all kinds of birds and just everything. So it's a really cool, just a short little loop we've gone on. Callie's obviously loving eating the snow, and it's just beautiful out here. videoing this. Stop, it's not funny. I've only rolled my ankle like 6 times since we've been on this trip.
She fell out of the truck one time and rolled her ankle. She rolled her ankle yesterday on a trail, and now she rolled it again and hit the ground.
I didn't. I just wanted to take a break.
You want to take a break and check out this scenery?
I need help up. Help me up. I know we've said this like a million times. This place is just absolutely beautiful, but y'all just don't understand. Like, these videos and these pictures are doing this place absolutely no justice. So if you're sitting there thinking like, man, that place is pretty, like, multiply that by like 1,000, because this place, like, when I pulled up, I said, that doesn't even look real. Like, it's like the Grand Canyon. I don't know if you've ever been to the Grand Canyon, but if you have, you get there and you're like, this looks like a painting. This is one of those places that looks like a painting. Like, you pull up and you're just like, there's no way that's real. It's just so pretty, and these videos just aren't doing it any justice. We're trying to give y'all the best view possible of it, but just with a video, you just can't do it. Here's our view for lunch.
By far the prettiest view we've ever had for lunch.
And bye-bye.
Is it pretty, Callie?
Pee-pee.
Yeah, it is pretty.
Bye-bye.
There are times in life when you get to places and you are just blown away by the beauty of them. This is definitely one of those places. We're standing at Hurricane Ridge at Olympic National Park, and it's just absolutely incredible. I know Sydney's probably getting tired of me saying this, but I've said this is awesome, or this is incredible, probably like 50 times so far. This might be the most beautiful place I've ever been to as far as just sheer mountains and beauty. It's just right up there at the top. The only other thing that rivals it, I think I've mentioned this before, is Avalanche Peak Trail that Caleb and I hiked in Yellowstone National Park. That's the only one that comes close, but I think this is even more beautiful. If you're anywhere near Olympic National Park, you've got to come check this out. I told Sydney I would actually make a trip especially just to come back to this place. It's that incredible. We didn't do a whole lot of hiking or anything, because when you drive up here, I mean, this is the view that's behind you, is this beautiful valley with all the mountains behind you. It is absolutely stunning. There was literally 3 people in line when we got here this morning at about 9:30 or 10. And now it's like probably a 30-minute wait to get in this place. Better get here early.
What did Daddy get you?
Thank you.
What is it?
Elk.
Elk? Do you love it?
No.
No.
My feet.
His feet. Yeah.
My ear.
And his ears.
His feet.
And his other feet. Can you give it love? Oh my goodness. And tell Daddy thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome, baby.